In 1804, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, along with a small army of volunteers, soldiers, and one Native American girl keeping them alive, set out on an amazing journey to map out the majority of what we lucky folk call America, the important parts, at least. And you know what, they didn't do badly, especially considering that the closest thing that they had to mechanized vehicles was a horse wearing a feed bag. In 2 years, the expedition marched from St. Louis, Missouri to Fort Clatsop in Oregon, and back again, a distance of over 7,000 miles. Wiki Commons, and it was sheer hell every single step of the way. Let's get this out of the way first. They ate the dogs. Being average hunters in unknown territory, it didn't take long for members of the expedition to start chowing down on their canine companions. Not even as a last resort, mind, just when they got bored of eating dried salmon. Only Clark refused to eat the dogs. It's a low bar to set for your national heroes, not eating your own pets just because you don't like fish, but only half of Lewis and Clark managed to clear it. The business trip did come with some pleasure along the way, though. Alongside exploring the country and doing as much science as possible, the expedition's other mission was to establish links with any native populations that they came across. Oh boy, did they do that. The core of Dick's ovary tried to have sex with every local woman they encountered, with a respectable rate of success. Not that Lewis and Clark were particularly dashing gentlemen explorers, but to their great fortune, plenty of Native American communities believed that sex was a great way of absorbing other cultures. And seeing as these underfed idiots were the only white meat for miles, many noble women performed a walk of shame in the hopes of figuring out this rifle business before it would come back to bite them in the ass. All of this fun had its downsides, however. Within months, most of the men were diagnosed with venereal diseases such as syphilis and gonorrhea. The good news was that the expedition had thought ahead and packed some medicine for precisely this scenario. The bad news was that the medicine was laced with mercury and caused terrible diarrhea. And while curing VD with mercury poisoning didn't exactly help Lewis and Clark reach the Pacific any faster, it did make them real easy to track. All future historians had to do was follow the trail of innumerable latrine pits they dug along the route, handily marked with an easily detectable odor mercury. You could not take a more historical dump if you ate an entire set of encyclopedias beforehand, which were also bound with mercury. Adam Wears is on Twitter and Facebook. He also has a newsletter about depressing history, if you're into that sort of thing. If Steve Jobs can rock a fake iPhone, then you sure as hell can. Trick your friends and family into thinking you're a functional adult. Also check out the 5 most disastrous marketing failures of all time and the 5 biggest disasters in the history of marketing ideas. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out why Apple clearly thinks you're stupid, and other videos you won't see on the site. Follow us on Facebook, and we'll follow you everywhere. Get intimate with our new podcast, Cracked Gets Personal. Subscribe for great episodes like The Most Insane Things We Saw in Emergency Medicine and 3 Wild Stories from Inside the Opiate Epidemic, available wherever you get your podcasts.